All right. What is up, YouTube? M40. We're going to be looking at some really interesting stuff that's been going on in the community. Now, for those of you that don't know, recently we had OTS Championship weekend, and a lot of players took up the reins against, well, a lot of interesting tournaments. Now, not everything was going to be great throughout the weekend, but there's a lot of creativity. And I wanted to take some time to look at Thom Vendl's list. He ended up, believe, winning the Mermail event. Well, no. He ended up doing relatively well with this deck. I wanted to look at this deck because besides Burning Abyss, Light of Sekka, like, what other decks have you seen doing this? No, with the lack of Mermail Link Monster currently floating around in the TCG, I think a lot of players kind of stared at this deck and kind of just like forgot about it, but it's kind of just been there on the back of everybody's mind. So I did want to process and look at this because this is actually really cool. Like I said, I can't tell you the last time players were, oh, wait, it was a format ago when Dragoons went to 3 and everybody was like, oh, no, this deck's so good. This deck can effectively Mullen Glacier at you turn 1 almost every scenario that it can put out. But I think a lot of people, once again, they have put this deck on the back burner and they forgot about it. And which leads me to say this. Doesn't that mean that there's room for innovation on this deck? Doesn't that mean that players like Thom are going to be trying to pick up the deck and try it? I do have a mini tournament report for you guys as well as soon as we start talking about the deck. But outside of that, I mean, it's pretty fucking cool getting a chance to see Mermails actually shine in this day and age. Like I said, I can't tell you the last time I saw Mermails do anything. So, alright, we are playing 2 Ash Blossom. This follows the OCG mentality. You don't want to bog down your deck too much with hand traps. I mean, they're here to essentially help you and make sure that you can play the game, but particularly in this deck, I think 2 is absolutely fine. It won't give you any generalized conflict whatsoever. So there's that. Triple Atlantean Dragoons. So I was a huge not happy advocate of having this come back. That was a lot of words mixed together there. I was not happy to see Dragoons come back. I thought the impact of this was going to be a lot greater than it actually was. Well, if you just don't give water support for 100 years, then I guess there's nothing to really worry about. But when you look at what this deck has the potential to do, well, I mean, it can't really do much with that potential if you're not getting new support. So it just kind of loops the deck together. Everything that this deck had is still going to be the same. But being able to Mullen Glacier consistently is pretty good. 2 copy of Heavy Infantry. Additional normal summons don't really matter, but I mean, it's there. And then being able to pop a face-up card is pretty good. 1 copy of Crystron Rosnix. The token is actually really, really important to a lot of your combos. 1 Deep Sea Diva. Special summoning from the deck is absolutely important. And 2 copies of Effect Veiler because, well, you know, we need it. Now, this deck is playing 2 copies of Gamma Seal. It's an additional water monster that your deck has access to. And in addition to that, you guys have to understand that giving your opponent a water monster that has synergy with your deck is very, very critically important. So, there's that. Triple copies of Please Ash Me so I don't add my controller to my hand. This card does send its cost. The amount of people that don't understand this is absurdly high, and it still shocks me every time we talk about this. 2 copies of Ghost Ogre. The 2/2/2 split on hand traps is wonderful. Now this deck can do the really cool plays with Nightmares, so you are playing the 1 copy of Ibli just to make sure you can beam it out and additional normal summon, because Firewall Dragon does exist. And then we have 1 copy of Clown Girl. Being able to revive any of your Mermails is actually pretty crucial. I know a couple builds were playing without this, but I think you do need this. Triple copies of Megalo. So I think this is going to be another one of those. People aren't going to like this, but I don't see any reason not to max it out. I know a lot of builds in the OCU were playing 2. 3 just honestly feels right. 1 copy of Spike, being able to discard to add a water level 3 from your deck to your hands, pretty good. Triple copies of Stew. Stew is always doing what Stew does. 1 copy of Mullen Glacier, because this card is so dumb. Now, this is the card that this is honestly, I think, the weakest point in this deck. Neptibus, if anything happens to Neptibus when Neff is trying to resolve, you just kind of go into that really awkward spiral that you can't really do anything about. So I think, I don't know, I wish this deck was more resilient. Like, honestly. Now, this is interesting. We have 1 Ronin Toad and triple Swap Frog. I think this is also a very acceptable ratio. Remember, this guy can feed off of everything, but this is just a mini Toad package that you have built into your main deck. We've seen every water deck doing this, and I don't see any issue to not include this. I mean, just bear in mind that you need this. It's very, very important. And then we have 1 copy of Controller. We have to play it. And then our draw engine, of course, is Sekka's Light. Now, I think the thing that people are going to be confused most about is why is he playing Abyss Sphere? Honestly, you're an OTK deck. Being able to search something off of this is just kind of a secondary measure, and I don't see any issue with wanting to include this in the main deck. I think that the deck will be fine and will perform up to standard as long as it's working. I mean, you could also play the scale, but that's kind of up to you. The 800, I mean, can help, but still. The extra deck, of course, we have the problem card, the Gumblar Dragon. I can't say it enough, this card's nuts. Summon Sorceress and the thing that lets you step into Summon Sorceress. Reproticus turning into fodder for Summon Sorceress in this deck is actually really good. 1 Link Kribo, 1 Link Spider, 1 Unicorn, 2 Phoenix. Honestly, this is also pretty crucial. You'd be surprised just when you start linking how important this will be. The thing that summons Ibli, 1 Cerberus, 1 Firewall, 1 Boral Sword, 1 Totally Awesome, 1 Tomahawk. This is why this deck is good. 2 level 7s makes this, you produce your Link, and you literally start blowing your opponent out. I think a lot of people kind of underestimate this card, but it's really good. Then we have 1 Bahamut Shark to bring out Toad. Side deck, we have 1 Ash Blossom, 1 Marksman, triple Denko Rekka, triple Droll, 1 Effect Veiler, 1 Turtle, 1 Ghost Ogre, and triple the Fathomer. This was actually interesting to me. Just has built-in synergy into the deck. Like, I didn't actually think about this until I saw it in his side deck. I was like, oh, yikes, we can actually do that. And then, of course, Red Ice Flare Metal for when you get into those really grindy end of matches that you need to actually deal with. So, Thom said, just left Hawaii traveling, hit up some random locals while on vacation, so no one knew me. So round 1 was against Weather Painter, so lost the dice roll. Game 1, because I didn't know how they worked. Game 2, Gumblard for 4, and then OTK next turn. Game 3, he judgmented me near the end of time, and I hit him with Megalo for game. Okay, so round 1 we Painters. Game 2 was Lost World Dinos, lost the dice roll. He went first. I hand trapped his Oviraptor. He passed. I opened the nuts and OTK through hand traps. Game 2, he started again. Gave me a Lost World token, but I stopped him with Ash. He passed with Oviraptor on the field again because he had Droll in hand and thought it was enough. He trolled my Prince, but I had an amazing hand, so I was able to clear his hand, and he just scooped 2-0'd him in about 11 minutes. That's actually pretty crazy. Game 3, or round 3, for those of you that are keeping up here, was against Sekka BA, the cat version. So I won the dice roll, but let him start because I main deck Kaijus. He opened a great hand and ended with Decode and Beatrice and Stand. He sent Dante from under Beatrice, special summon to add Seer and special summon Seer. And I knew he had another in hand, so he had +2 targeting and negates. I opened Infantry, so I slowly tried to pop Decode, force both negates, and then Unicorn his Beatrice. He let it go through and didn't negate, and then he was top decking while I was rolling 2 every turn and finally scooped. Game 2, he went first, opened too many hand traps, and just set 1 past. I played into and through the hand traps. After turn, I knew that he still was on top decking and not getting far. I eventually set up Firewall, bounce loaded, and he last ditch effect normal Seer. Tried to crash, I bounced him, and he shook my hand. Woo! Round 4 was True Draco with no extra deck. I lost the dice roll, went first, opening that stupid rock and set too much with 2 monsters. Too much advantage. Game 2, I hand looped him going first. He couldn't do much. Game 3, I sided my Water True King and opened it. That card saves me from True Draco. And then, let's see here. Top Cut, I played the same True Draco player and got bodied. He was a good player and understood his deck. both games he opened rock. Fuck that card. He also said, I wouldn't change much with my deck right now. I want the 5-card Nimble Engine, but I can't just get into this format comfortably with only 3 hand traps, so I'm going to stick with Genix, just because it's a 1-card summon sorceress. Sphere was dope. If I Sekka already, I could just discard it for my Nightmares and win. That's pretty cool. Yeah, just a little bit of synergy here. So guys, that is a wrap on this. Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'm out. Peace. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel, and join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.